So all of you know about the ADO, all of you know about the Azure DevOps organization, right? What exactly you know? In the Azure DevOps organization, two kind of two kind of access levels will be there that we discussed, right? One is license related access, and the second one is project related access. Okay, I'm repeating the content what we discussed in the earlier classes, just to make sure you are on the same path. Okay. So if you ask me what is the license related category, license related access is license related access will be categorized into basic license, stakeholder license, basic plus test plan license, and the Visual Studio subscriber license. Right. And in the Visual Studio we have two categories like VSES and VSPS. So when you talk about VSPS, it is like Visual Studio Enterprise subscription license. And when you talk about VSPS, it deals with Visual Studio Professional subscription license. Okay. So these are the different licenses. Those can be assigned to a user in the Azure DevOps organization. Basically. Okay. Next. What about the project related access? If you talk about the project related access, we have mainly two categories. First one is like project level access, project level access, and the second one is project collection level access. Okay. And if you ask me about the what are the different categories available in the project level access, project reader access, project contributor access, project administrator access. Right. So the reason why I am repeating this content today, even though we discussed in the earlier classes, is we are going to discuss about the a resource hierarchy in the Azure DevOps, right? As per the yesterday discussion. So now you can ask me, how do you, I mean, we want to know how it is related to Azure DevOps resource hierarchy. Everybody joined by this time? I think Shivkumar didn't join. Okay, let me tell you. So, suppose this is your Azure DevOps organization. Okay, let me write it down. Azure DevOps organization. In shortcut, we call this as ADO, right? So, in this ADO, basically this is root ADO actually. Okay, let me make it clear. Root ADO, which is called https://dev.azure.com. This is the root ADO actually. Okay, so in this ADO, we have in the root, based on the root ADO, we are creating our customized ADOs according to our requirement. Suppose I have created two ADOs. Okay, and these are according to our structure basically. So one is the which one? We have two ADOs, right? Yep. One is Avengers ADO and other one is Rockstar ADO, right? So remember this term. Whenever you're going to be part of a project, you have to use the real-time project use terminologies only. It is like a communication channel. I mean, it is like a language. You need to understand what exactly you're. I mean, whenever you're saying something about the project, the other person also need to be understand. If it is new person or if it is new, if the person is new to your project, or if the person is experienced in the project also. What makes you common or what makes you brings to you understand the concept is the terminology. So whenever you're going to discuss about anything and discuss anything about your project, or whenever you're going to interested or involved in anything related to project discussion, please use the real-time terminologies only. Okay, so in the real time we don't call Azure DevOps organization, we call them like simply ADO. Okay, so in this ADO we have created 5 users. I mean, we have created couple of users, not only five, couple of users, right? But as we are using the free ADO, we know that limitation in the free ADO is for basic users is only 5 basic users. You cannot assign the basic license to more than 5 users in the free ADO. But in the real time, ADO will have more than 5 basic users because you will be purchasing the license for the users. Okay, so what I wanted to say here is in every ADO, two branches will be there, one for the users and one for the projects. So if somebody asked you, can you manage the access? I mean, can you create the users at the project level? Say the answer like no, you cannot create the projects at the organization level. The licenses are basically the users will be created at ADO level. So what do you know now? You got to know like that you have created 5 users here, right? Suppose these are here I have created 5 users. So basically users will be like 1 minute. Let me categorize this one. Okay, so this is basic users, basic license, and this is stakeholder license, stakeholder license users, and this group is test plan license users, and this is VSEP, VSES plus VSPS license users. Okay, so every ADO will have these different kind of license users, right? So every ADO will have other aspect and other section that is called projects, right? Project 1, project 2, project 3. So what I wanted to say is here, let me write down here itself. Okay, let me write down here itself. Project 1, project 2, project 3. Okay, now what I wanted to do in the similar way, how exactly the projects are created in the ADO 1, I have created the projects in the ADO 2 also. Okay, so you know that in the every project you will be having 5 services, right? What are those services? These are called ADO services. These are called ADO services. What are those? The basic ADO services are boards,
Correct.
and then
Repos,
repositories, and then
test
pipelines,
plans,
and then test plans, and then
etc.
artifacts,
Okay.
right? These 5 are called ADO services. So what exactly the structure of the, what exactly the hierarchy of the resource in Azure DevOps is, sorry, what exactly the hierarchy of the resources in ADO is, first will be root, like root ADO, https colon sorry colon slash slash dev.azure.com. Then your ADO, like we have Avengers ADO. Then your project, test project. Then your ADO service. Sorry. Yeah. Then ADO service like boards or can be boards or it can be repos. It can be pipelines. It can be test plans. It can be artifacts. All clear? This is the hierarchy of the your ADO resource basically. These are called ADO services where you call them like ADO resources also. So the resource hierarchy is resource will be there, either boards or the resource or service will be there, either boards or repos or pipelines or artifacts or test plans, and these resources will be part of a container called or a logical container called test project. Basically, what we call them. If you ask me to tell me in the standard way, then this is the standard way. Azure DevOps organization name. In shortcut, ADO name. Okay. Then ADO project name. Then ADO service name. Then ADO service component name. Okay. So if you ask me about in the boards, we'll be having sub components like work items. In the repos, you can have files. Not only this limited. Okay. In the pipelines, you have builds. In the test plans, you have test suits and test plans and test cases details. In the artifacts, you will be having feed details. So, this is for the example actually, but this is the root. This is the ideal hierarchy structure of the ADO. dev.ado.com/ADO name slash ADO project name slash ADO service name plus ADO component name. All of it clear about the resources hierarchy?
Uh, Manikanta.
Ah,
So this ADO will be created at the subscription level, or it is different altogether?
yeah, I'll come to that point. The next discussion.
Oh,
Guys, all of it clear till now about the ADO resource hierarchy?
Yes.
So, if you ask me about this component structure, let me show you the component. So, this is the test project, right? So, what exactly the component that I'm talking is in the boards, I have work items, boards, backlogs, sprints, queries, delivery plans, right? These are called ADO service level components. This is called boards is called ADO services, whereas these are called ADO service level components. In the repos, we have these components. In the pipelines, we have these components. In the test plans, we have these components. In the artifacts, we have these components, basically. We don't have anything, we need to create it. All of you clear over the components? Okay. So, now what we are going to do? So, in here, when we are talking about the real-time case and when we are talking about the free trial case. When you are talking about the real-time case, there will be no limit of the license users. As long as you purchase the licenses for the users, you can increase n number of users. Okay, either it is a basic plan or either it is a basic plus test plan or either it is a VSCP, VSPS or VSCS. But stakeholder license is completely free. Out of the five licenses, basic license, stakeholder license, VSCP license, VSCS license, and VSPS license, and the basic plus test plan licenses, only stakeholder license is free. That means you can add n number of users to stakeholder as a stakeholder license member without getting any charge. But if you want to add more than 5 users in the free ADO, then you need to purchase the basic license. If you want to give access to any user who wants to have the access at the time of the ADO basic membership and at the time of the Visual Studio professional subscription, then you have to purchase VSPS license. All of it clear? In the same way, let me tell you what exactly the difference between these two licenses actually. So we have discussed about the basic license, stakeholder license, basic plus test plan license, this license, right? So basically this VSPS license will members, the person who is having the Visual Studio professional subscription will also have VS professional subscription license plus basic license in ADO. Okay, and this guy who is having VS enterprise subscription plus basic plus test plan license. That means in your organization, if anybody is using Visual Studio Enterprise subscription, if anybody is assigned with Visual Studio Enterprise license, for him, you don't need to add any license. You don't need to allocate any license when he is onboarded or when he is provided access to your Azure DevOps organization. Clear? So if you want to give access to any user, first of all, identify whether the person is using any Visual Studio product or not. If he is using any Visual Studio product, what kind of licensed product he is using. You know that in the Visual Studio we have three kind of product licenses, right? I mean three kind of products like Visual Studio, Community Edition, and Visual Studio Enterprise Edition, and Visual Studio Professional Edition, right? So if somebody wants to use the Visual Studio Community Edition, they don't need to have any license because it is completely free. If you want to use any Visual Studio Enterprise Edition, you need to purchase VSES license. If you want to use any Visual Studio Professional Edition, you need to purchase VSPS license. I hope everybody got the point now how exactly the license in the Azure DevOps organization for a user is related to license in the Visual Studio editions, right? All of it clear now? Then the next concept here is whoever have the basic license, whoever have the basic license will have access to all the five services, all the five ADO services, boards, repos, pipelines, test plans, artifacts. Whoever have the stakeholder license will have access to only boards, pipelines, and artifacts. Okay. Whoever have the basic plus test plan license will have access to all the five services. But then what is the difference between basic and basic plus test plan licenses? Simple answer. If you have the basic license, you cannot do any kind of execute test kinds. You cannot do any kind of execution of the tests in the test plans. To execute any test plans, to execute any test cases, to execute any test suits in the test plans of the Azure services, Azure DevOps services, you are supposed to have basic plus test plan license. If you have only basic license, you cannot control, I mean, you cannot administrate or you cannot manage the test plans in the ADO services. But if you have the basic license, you will have the visibility of the same. I mean, you will have the chance to see what are the test plans created, what is the progress report, what is the runs, and all these information. But you don't have the permission to create any kind of activity in the test plan services unless until you are going to have the basic plus test plan license. Okay, I hope everybody is clear now about the different kind of license in the AD. Okay, and in the interview, what exactly they will be focusing? They will be focusing on the different type of licenses that you are aware or not, and they will be focusing on the scope of the licenses and the purpose of the licenses, whether you are aware or not. The second thing is whenever you are going to assign a license for a user, ADO license for a user, remember one thing that this is not for a specific project. Okay. ADO license will be a license for a user in ADO will be assigned at the ADO level, not at the project level. All of it clear?
Venkata, your
ADO
voice
Azure
is
DevOps.
breaking.
Oh, is it? What about now? I think it's good.
Mm, Yeah, yeah, it is better now.
Okay. Yeah. Remember one thing. In the ADO, a
Again
license
better.
will be provided to again. What about others? All of you
Audible,
also for
sir.
same or different?
Yeah, it's good now. It's good, audible.
Okay, fine. So what I'm trying to say here is licenses will be assigned for the users or at the scope of the ADO in the real time or in the free trial ADO also. Licenses is always will discuss about the scope of the Azure DevOps organization. You cannot assign the license at the project level or you cannot create the user at the project level because like users and projects are the two different sections. Those are integrated at the ADO level. Those are managed at the ADO level. Those are administrated at the ADO level. All of it clear? If somebody asks you, can you create a user for this project? Tell them like that you need to create the user at the ADO level, and at the time of the creating the user you need to assign the access for the particular project. All of it clear? You cannot give access to a specific user without creating the user ID in the ADO or without providing the access in the ADO at the project level. In order to provide access to a specific user to a project, the user must be created at the ADO user section and the user must be provided with the respective ADO license and the user must be provided access at the ADO users permissions. Let me show you what exactly I mean. So this is Avengers ADO, right? And I have told you like how to add users, right? This is the you need to go to organization settings and then you need to go to users and here you need to click on add users to add the user, right? So suppose I'm adding my ID. Okay, I don't have any. Uh, yeah, suppose this is my user ID. Okay, and I want to give basic access. Okay, and I want to give access for this user to only one project, then I need to set this project. If I have multiple projects, I need to set only one user. Let me tell you. In this Avengers ADO, I have only one project, right? Let me create a new project. Test project 2. And I'll delete this later, but don't worry. I think somebody is on mute. Chakradhar, can you go on mute? Why is he getting mute? Okay. Now you could see that I have two projects, project 1 and project 2, right? And if you see here, if I add any user, suppose if I add any user, at the time of the user creation, I need to specify the license access level. Which access? Basic license or stakeholder license or Visual Studio subscriber license. Okay. And at the time of the user creation itself, I need to give the project information also. Like for which project I want him to be part of. I want him to be part of only one project or I want him to be part of two projects or I don't want him to be any project. Remember one thing, if you created a user in the ADO and doesn't provided any kind of project related access or doesn't make him part of any project, that will be useless because even though if you provide the license, I mean even though if you provide the license to a user and if you don't provide access to any project, at least one project, the license will be void. That means license is useless even though he has the license to this. I mean even though he has an account in the ADO and even though he has assigned with the license in the ADO, if he is not getting part of any project, the user won't be able to uh, not even have the, I mean the user won't be, the user is not going to have at least read access unless until you are provided access only. All of it clear? This is a real time question. In the interview they will ask you like, okay, if I want to provide access to a project and I don't want to create a user ID in the ADO level. Is it possible? No, it's not possible. Without creating a user at the ADO level, you cannot give access to ADO project. And without assigning a license to the ADO, license at the ADO level, you cannot access to the project. And the other way is, even though you have created user ID in the ADO, even though you have provided the license in the ADO, if you don't provide the access to any project, either it is a project administrator access, either it is a project leader access, either it is a project contributor access, without providing any access at the ADO project level, the user will be able to log into ADO, but he cannot use anything. He cannot see anything. He cannot do anything. He cannot modify anything. That means if you are providing access to a user at the ADO level, unless until you are providing access to any at least one project or at least one kind of project access to the user, that will be a useless activity. Clear? So at this point of time, suppose I have given access to this test project. Okay. Now when you provide the project specification for which project you want to add him to, automatically you have to define the which group you want to be part of. Like you want him to provide the project leader access, or you want him to provide the project contributor access, or you want him to provide project administrator access. All of it clear? Okay. So now the scenario, the real time scenario. Suppose today this guy PB1001 is part of a project, right? Let me pick this guy's properties first. I will be clicking on the ellipse. Here I need to click on the manage user. Okay. When you click on the manage user, you will be able to see the user properties, like when exactly the user is logged into ADO, and when exactly, what kind of access level the license he is aligned with, and for which projects he has access. Okay, so initially this user is part of the test project 1 only, but I want him to be part of the test project 2. Then what I need to do, I need to click this one, and at the time of say at the I mean at the time of assigning access to project, I need to select project leader or project contributor or project administrator, whatever I wanted to assign. Okay, I want him to assign to be part leader 2. So now what happens? The user will be able to see test project test project 1 and test project 2 in his login basically. Okay. So and after some days I got a requirement like that, the user is moved out of the project 2. Then what I will do? I will go to users console and go to manage and then remove this assignment and click on save. All of it clear about how to provide access to a user to a particular project of which kind, that whatever you want. Any question? Any questions?
Mankata, these ADO users are different from Active Directory users, right? So, or both are same?
Basically, both are same in our case. Let me tell you. I'm coming to that point only.
Okay.
So, in the real time, okay, in the real time, or in the our practice time also, we are going to have two scenarios. We are going to have two scenarios. ADO, Azure DevOps organization, without integrated with your Azure Active Directory, ADO integrated with AAD. But 99.99 time, 99% all the ADOs will be integrated with your Azure Active Directory for sure in the real time. Only at the time of the POC level or only at the time of the some practice level, practice kind of ADOs won't integrate with AAD basically. So if you ask me, how do you find out your Azure DevOps organization is integrated with which AAD? Then you need to go with in the general section of the organization settings, you need to go to Azure Active Directory. And here you should be able to see for which Azure Active Directory this Azure DevOps organization is integrated with. And the question might be coming for you is what exactly is the benefit that you're going to get when you integrate your Azure DevOps organization with Azure Active Directory? The first answer is integrated access management. The first answer is integrated access management. The reason is when you want to add users here, you are adding, but this is Azure DevOps native console. And when you want to control the user login from the Azure Active Directory, then you need to integrate your Azure DevOps with Azure Active Directory. Okay. Now let me tell you. Uh, can you share your screen, Ramesh or Praveen? Anybody?
My screen, right? Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can adjust.
yeah.
Okay. And try to access this URL. Praveen, you also please.
Okay.
You also please. Yeah. You can unmute. I will let. Praveen, you also please. Try to access these two URLs. What about the
Uh,
other URL?
yeah, other one I can, I think. No, I cannot access.
What about you, Praveen?
Yeah, I'm also getting same error. You don't have
Okay.
access.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Hope you can see my screen now. Right. So you guys are doesn't have any access here basically. Your
Yeah.
names are not here. Right. That means I have not provided access to you. Right. But let me see. Without adding your user ID here. Okay. Without adding your user ID here, what I will do is I will go to Azure Active Directory and I will go to groups and I'll go to one minute. I'll go to these two groups, security groups which I created in the earlier time. Actually. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to add your user ID here. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the another one. Okay. Yep. Share the screen again, please. I'm giving the rights. Yep. I'm giving the rights.
Still it is same.
Please try in incognito. Please try in incognito.
I think
Control shift, control shift N. Click on control shift N. Control shift N. Then you will get incognito.
I'm not getting.
Okay, fine. Basically, the control need to be on the Chrome, and then you need to click on the control shift N. That's a shortcut to open incognito. Okay,
I
you
think
can
it
go
is
in the
already.
UA mode. That's okay. You can go in the UA mode. You can try. What about you, Praveen?
Yeah, for me also it is still same. I think it will take some time to reflect the changes.
Not actually. It should.
Is it? Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, now it is asking me for sign in.
Okay, then share your screen, please.
Yeah, just a moment.
I'm giving the parental rights.
Can you able to see my screen now?
Yes, I can. I can see.
Okay.
PB 1010, I think. Yes. At Visualpath placement based online dot something. I mean, I didn't remember the name.
The
Let
Visualpath dot
me.
on Microsoft.com, right?
No, it is something like. Let me get it. 1 minute. Praveen, right. I sent you in the chat.
Okay. No, it is still same.
Okay. Let me do one thing. Go to View tab, please, or go to your Azure
Hmm.
portal.
Okay.
Azure portal.
Mm, okay.
Now click on Home. Now click on the search for the Azure DevOps organizations. Search for Azure DevOps organizations. Yep. Yeah. Click on the scroll down. Now click on the My Azure DevOps organizations. Okay. Yeah. Actually, those are not yet reflected, but still, that's the issue.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe it is taking time at this point of time, but in the real time, it won't
Mm-hmm.
take actually. But
Yeah, you are right.
I mean,
Okay.
this is called user profile, Azure DevOps user profile. So
Mhm.
if you go to this profile, this URL, then you should be able to see for which Azure DevOps organizations, for which Azure DevOps projects this user is having access, basically. Okay.
Okay.
So, but let me show you something now. Interesting. And this is the portal that I'm part of, right? I mean, this is my user profile, right? Basically, my user profile in the Azure DevOps, right? And these are the ADOs I am part of, and these are the projects I am part of. So, if somebody asks you, how do you identify a user is part of which Azure DevOps organizations? Or somebody asks you, how do you identify this user is part of which ADO projects? Then for both of the questions, simple answer is you need to go to Azure DevOps user profile, and that profile will be like aex.dev.azure.com. That's it. This is the profile URL, and when you enter aex.dev.azure.com, automatically it will lead you to this page, the user profile page. Okay. Now let me see. So now I have provided access to you, but still you are not able to access, right? In this case, how exactly you are going to troubleshoot this issue? It depends on the synchronization time that ADO and AAD is exchanging their data. But to identify whether it is exchange, whether the data is getting exchanged or not, in the ADO section, how to? Then go to group rules and click on the which user you are talking about, avenge stakeholders. You cannot click because it is a rule. So basically every user will be part of a group, and that group will be comes under the concept called security permissions. Okay, so in this permission, what I have a group called project collection valid users, and this project collection valid users is having the members, and in this my members are project valid users of test project 1. Let me go here, and here I can see the members, and here I can see contributors, and here I can see members, and here I can see the group, AAD group, right? When I go to this group, can I see your name?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
That means your data is synced with the ADO, but still you are not getting the login. Suppose if I go to my AD, and if I go to the groups that you are part of, and if I remove your user ID here, if I remove your user ID here, go to members, and then click on your user ID, and let me remove this. Now I cannot see, I should not be able to see your ID here. Still I'm waiting. I cannot see your user ID here, right, Praveen? If I go to here,
Yes.
can I see your user ID?
No.
So that means the synchronization between ADO and AAD is happening within fraction of seconds, right? I just removed your user ID and I just
Correct.
repeated it. Okay, now let me add your user ID here. Guys, this is real time access issue scenario. Now if I click on this one, let me refresh the page. So, yeah, you can see your ID here. Now Let me reload the page and see the result. Give me a minute. I'm getting office call. Uh, yeah, sorry guys, I'm back. So it got reflected immediately here, right? Guys, all of you here?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you try now? Praveen and Ramesh, please.
Yeah, sure. Let me try.
If it's not happening, I'll show you the other possible ways of debugging the issue. Uh, yeah, you can share your screen, Praveen.
Hello, Mani, it is still same. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, yes, yes. See, here the possible ways is first of all with the uh, synchronization, but you could see that the data is getting synchronized immediately to the ADO from AAD. The second possible way is, yes, the email, I mean, the access to the user ID that I have provided doesn't have any email associated, right? Because these are the
Yes.
user IDs that we have created in the AAD, and for our AAD, we don't have any exchange established by default. But in the real time, you are going to have your IDs, I mean, your login IDs is going to have an email ID associated, that whenever somebody provided access to you, by default, you are getting an email, right? So, what exactly in the real time, or what exactly in this situation we are supposed to behave? Let me show you my screen. In the real time, I'm going to fix it. If I'm the person who is to fix this issue, is I'll go to these users. Okay, I'll go to these users and click on add, and I'll type Praveen, and I'll give stakeholder. I'll give this one and project contributor. Click on add. Okay, now I will do add this one in this way also. How exactly I'm going to uh, resolve the issue? That's what I'm showing now. Okay. So see here, two things that you need to be aware. Whenever you are providing access to a user using this add users console, then by default the license method will be called as directly. Okay. And whenever a user is added through this portal using this group mechanism, group rule mechanism, then that will be called as group rule. So this is called license source basically. That means whenever a user is directly added in the, whenever a user is provided with the access directly by clicking on the add user section under the users, all users manual, then that is called direct access. And whenever a user is getting added or getting provided access to the ADO using Azure Active Directory group or using Azure DevOps native group, that is called group rule. All of it clear? So,
Uh,
as you have tried to provide the access to Praveen and Ramesh through the group rule, these guys are not able to log in. So, what to do? We have identified whether the data is synced in the ADO groups or not. Yes, ADO groups are updated according to the data that is part of the AAD group. But still, these guys are not able to log in. In that case, what I will do is, I will give access directly in the users console by giving the respective kind of license assignment. Now, they should be able to log in.
yeah, I can able to access now.
Can you share your screen, please? All of you clear? How to resolve the real-time access issue? Right? Now, let me show you something interesting once again. What I will do is, now, if you refresh this one, for this user, for this Praveen and the Ramesh user, you can see direct, right? All of you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that means these two users are logged into this ADO at today only, and I have given access at today only, and they are logged in the last time for today only. And you could see that for other users it is group role, and for these users it is direct, right? So as per the compliance policies or as per the standard access management policies in the real time, every user should not be given access in the direct mode. They should be given access in the group rule mode only. But what I will do is I will click on remove direct assignments. What it's saying? Praveen will not lose access to any resources. Okay. Now what happened? For Praveen, group rule activated. For Ramesh, let me remove the direct assignments. Ramesh will not lose access to any resources. What happened? For Ramesh also, it should be reflected. Let me. Maybe it is taking time to reflect here. In this case, what I will do is remove direct assignment once again. If it's not going in the direct assignment, then what I'll do is I'll click on remove from organization. So even though if I remove access from the all users console, it is saying like that Ramesh is going to have access to this ADO because he is part of a AD group. Okay. Now I have removed access for Ramesh also. Let us see whether Ramesh can will be part of this group or not. It's still reloading. Website. Hope all of you clear now how to resolve the access issue when you have provided access through a Azure Active Directory group and still the user is not getting logged into the ADO console, right? So it got removed now, but when the Ramesh logged out and logged in again, it will be visible here. But if you want to identify the permission here, you can go to permissions. I mean, if you want to identify whether Ramesh is part of the group or not, we want to, I mean, every user, I mean, I told you like two groups, right? I mean, two kind of assignments, like license assignment and the project assignment. In the project assignment we have discussed about two concepts, like project level assignment and the project collection level assignment. So this is project collection level. Simple answer: project collection means ADO, project means ADO project. Clear? In the real time, if somebody is saying like product collection, that means ADO level, Azure DevOps organization level. If somebody is saying project level, that means ADO project level. Okay. Every user who is part of the project, whether he is having the project reader access, project contributor access, or project administrator access, will be part of the project collection valid users. And this ADO group consisting of a role called members, and in this you need to go to the particular project which you are dealing. We are dealing with project valid users, test one project, right? Project one. So we want to see whether the Praveen is part of this project, or I mean Praveen or Ramesh is part of this project or not. So every user who have access to any project will be part of any group that will be part of this project valid group, valid users group. So I need to go to members here, and then I need to see whether I know that what kind of access I have provided him, right? I have provided him to be part of the project contributors. So what I will say, I will go to contributors. So this is in the contributors who I have, the basic users I have, stakeholders I have. So what I'll do, I know that Ramesh and Praveen has been provided with the stakeholder access. I'll go here and I'll check in the members section. Ramesh and Praveen are part of this, and those two user IDs are Azure Active Directory user, right? Clear everybody? How to verify whether the user is part of a Azure DevOps or not? Okay, this is a long way of verifying the user property basically. Then you can ask me the what is the shortest way? Simple answer. Go to permissions. Okay, go to permissions and then go to users and enter the user ID here. So you can see the member of. Basically, it's not reflected yet the properties. If you ask me to verify for the other user, let me go there. Let me verify for somebody like Avinash. Okay, I need to search with PB. See, ninth user is not reflected still. This is called synchronization issues. Even though you try to fix in the other possible way also, the user is not getting the access or the user is not getting uh, access to the ADO project or ADO. This is called real-time challenge. And in these cases, you need to put all your efforts. Even though if you're putting all your efforts and you still you're not able to resolve, the best way is reach out to Microsoft team and get the issue sorted out. The reason is for one user the issue got resolved, for the other user the issue is not getting resolved, right? By following our standard way of resolution. All of it clear?
Yeah. So AAD, how did you integrate with the ADO? So do we have any direct method or it is
Yeah,
automatic?
no, only direct method. This is you need to go to Azure Active Directory. As we have
Hmm.
integrated our ADO with the AD already, it is showing disconnect directory. But if you don't integrate it with, it will show like connect with AD.
Okay, so there we need to select the respective AAD, right?
Yeah, let me show you. That's also. This ADO is not integrated actually. Okay,
Okay, this
so
is
let me
another
go to
project,
this. Yeah,
another
another
ADO.
ADO only. Yeah,
Okay.
you can see right.
So, so this always dev.azure.com only, right? So
Yeah,
there is,
always dev.azure.com.
okay,
Dev.azure.com is the root ADO. In
ADO,
that
okay.
ADO, our personal ADOs will be there, like Infosys ADO or Wipro ADO, whatever it is.
Okay, so it will
Or
not,
the
it
personal.
won't be, okay, it won't be like prod.azure.com only, dev.azure.com
No, no,
always, right? It is
no, no,
static.
no. It will be always dev.azure.com.
Okay.
And if you want to customize the ADO name also, you can do customize. But
Yeah, yeah.
whatever you want to change, it will come with the dev.azure.com/. This
Okay.
part will be fixed for all the ADOs. You can't change it. The name can be changed by going to the ADO settings.
Okay.
And if you want to use any privacy URL, you can use these settings basically.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my experience in the ADO, I mean Azure DevOps from last 3 years, no company will use any privacy URLs unless until they have the dealings with the bank. I mean, if the product is a bank domain, they may implement. Or if
So what
if
is,
the ADO is a kind of cyber security related, they may implement.
so
The
what is
thing
the
is, I have not come. Yeah, I mean, please
what is the
continue.
use of privacy URL? So it will not show when you type
Just to
or
make
what?
sure it won't be able to access in the outside.
Okay, okay, okay.
I mean, even though this ADO also you can't access unless I mean you can't access in the internet unless until you have access to the ADO. I mean, you have the license membership or you have the URL. You unless until you are part of this ADO, you can't access outside of the internet. I mean, outside of this organization basically. Still,
Okay.
okay. Please share your screen. Let's try why you are not able to. I mean, you are able to log in, but it's not reflecting me in the central database.
No, still, I think you removed my access, right?
No, you're part of group actually, but still you are not getting. I mean, earlier you told me like you are part of the. I mean, you are able to log into, right?
Yeah. So I was able to log into only Avengers ADO, not
Yeah,
Rockstar.
I have provided to that only. Okay, let me show you the different way now. I hope everybody is clear now how to provide access and how to resolve the issue with the access, right? So, what I will do is the other possible way to fix this kind of issue here is add user and here add Ramesh. Okay, I mean add the user ID basically. So what I will do is I don't have any basic license available to assign you, so I'll go with stakeholder, test project one,
But
and project contributor. Okay, now what
but
you can try login now.
but this
I
is
mean the
direct access,
same
right?
method, yeah, direct access only, the same method. Whatever
Yeah,
I
now
told you in the previous one, same
yeah
method,
now
right?
yeah.
Now you are able to, right? Let me tell
Yes.
you. So here you click on resend invite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you click on resend invite? When you click on resend invite, you are going to get this one. Basically, let me Kamla, you're there.
Yes, sir.
So I will add this user, right? Basically, this is a personal guest ID.
Okay.
So this ID is going to get an invitation email, right? And if I add any user ID here, PB, this user also getting will be getting an email actually. But as we in this AAD we don't have any Microsoft 365 or Office 365 licenses assigned for these users, you are not getting any emails actually. So that's what happens in the real time. When you click on the resend email, when you click on the resend invite, whatever the email ID that is associated with this user is going to get an email. And if you want to suppose like
Email of what? Email of the link? Email of the edible link or what?
email of the ADO link, let me show you. Can you share your screen please? I'll show you the possible way. All of you If this method worked, you can all of you also configure the same, as we don't have any emails right now. Yeah. Now go to aex.dev.azure.com, the ADO user profile section. aex.dev.azure.com. I mean, when you want to see the profile section of the user, you don't need to provide any ADO details by default. It's a common user section. Okay. Now click on the edit profile, please. Now contact email. Update your email, please. Your personal email. Remove this email and update your personal email. Now click on save changes. Can you access your email, please, once?
Maybe from here I cannot access. Let me access
Uh,
it from my.
and from your mobile you can do. From your mobile you can do, because you need to confirm. All of you
Okay.
others, please also update your personal emails.
Did you resend the invite again? Or?
No, no, I didn't send. I'll send. First of all, you need to confirm this email first. I mean, confirm this. You need to confirm this action in your email.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got the confirmation. Confirm email.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
It
reload
has
the
been.
page here.
It has been confirmed.
Now, yeah, now reload the page. I think it's pending still.
I think it is asking for
Login.
credentials.
Yeah, you can log in your mobile if it's fine. Or let me pick someone. Kamala, you can access your email, right?
No, no, it is
Kamala,
asking for
Rajesh.
Sir,
Yeah,
Microsoft main
Kamala
entry.
or okay, that's fine. You can log in. Rajesh, Avinash, Chakradhar, anybody.
I can access, sir.
Can I?
Okay. Can you share your screen?
Okay, sir.
Let's work out on this issue. Yeah, update your email. Yeah. I think it's outlook.com, not Gmail. Is it?
Yes. Both are.
Okay, fine. I mean, anyway, which one you want to use, you can use.
Anyone is okay.
Yeah. Scroll down.
Save
Click on
changes.
change. Yeah. Now go to your email, please. Refresh. Click on other. No, no. Click on other. Other.
This one, right?
Yeah. Turn that. Okay. Click on focused. Everybody, please do the same and verify whether you got an email or not. Maybe it's part of junk, I think. No. Click on more in the left. Click on more in the left. No, left.
Left.
Yeah. Click on more and then go to spam or junk. Yeah. Click on that more.
Mhm.
It should. Yeah. Now it's came. I think junk. Oh, junk is different number. Okay. You can click on inbox. Um,
Not getting it.
it should have received actually by this time. What about others? Guys, can you check?
Answer.
No money. I haven't received any mail. I've updated
I
my mail ID. Even I haven't received.
I updated email ID.
Okay.
Confirmation pending.
Yeah, confirmation pending means you need to confirm in the email. For that one also, you should have received an email, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
Sir, I got an email, sir.
Yeah. Can you share your screen, please,
Sure, sir.
Avinash? Or
Yes, sir.
bandwidth issue.
No, no, you please continue, sir.
Okay.
I got a mail and confirm it. It shows at bottom of the my profile.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. Avinash, you can share your screen.
Sure, sir.
Or I will
Sir,
ask
I didn't.
Rajesh if you have an issue.
Okay, I didn't receive any.
Okay. Rajesh, can you share your screen, please? I gave the permission. Yeah. Now go to your Outlook, please, and show the audience about your email that you received.
This is email.
Yeah. Click and confirm email. You confirmed, right?
Already
I didn't
confirmed.
confirm. Okay. Now let me do one thing. What's your email ID? I mean your ID. PB
1003.
1W3. Okay. Let me click on resend invite. Okay. I sent an invite. Can you check now? Reload the page.
No.
Should. Can you check in junk? Reload. Refresh the page. We'll see. Maybe it is taking time. Still not. I mean, I hope everybody understand the challenge here, right? Simple thing. In the real time, when you are part of a company, your login ID is going to be associated with an email. In our practical company, I mean, in our POC company, that what we have created, Visualpath Placement Batch.onmicrosoft.com. In this AAD, users doesn't have any license related to Office 365. That's why you are not going to have any email IDs, right? But in the real time, when you click on the resend invite, the user associate email is going to get an email actually. Get an email alert stating that you got an invitation to this one. I mean that mail will be like that your third mail. Can you click on Azure DevOps please? Third email. Third email.
This
Yep,
is
that one.
first created that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, whenever I click on resend invite, you are going to get an email like this. Join your organization at dev.azure.com/ your AD1 name. This is what happens when you click on resend invite. I mean, this is previous mail, but the new mail also supposed to be like this. All of it clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Hope you got the limitation. Why you are not getting the email here? All of you. Any questions? And even though if you are doing all these issues, I mean, even though you're trying to resolve the access issue by doing all these steps, still you are not able to resolve the issue, then the best way is to reach out to Microsoft team and explain them the scenario. Like I have given access in the AAD group, and the AAD group data is always getting synced to the AADO groups, but still the user is not able to log into this one. I mean this ADO. Okay. That is the step that we need to do. But before reaching out to Microsoft, first of all, you need to do at least try to resolve the issue. I think some issue with the user ID basically that's not going to be synced here. Okay, yep. I hope everybody is clear about the resource hierarchy in this ADO structure, right? Are any questions about this? Guys, acknowledgement please.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes, man, continue. Yeah, no issues.
Okay, yep. Now, as I'm going to create a new ADO as we have other members who doesn't have the ADO basically. So what I'm going to do is, any suggestion for name please? This ADO will be, for this ADO, Ramesh and Praveen will be part of. Any name that you would like to have for the POC ADO?
Yeah, any name should be good. Actually, you can put whatever name you want.
I just wanted to know any preferences for you actually. This ADO will be completely yours. That you need to practice and you are going to have control on the project level. Whereas I am the ADO admin, you are going to have access at the ADO project level. So that's why for your easy reference and easy remembrance.
Sir,
Praveen, do
by
you think?
confirm,
You can just create any test ADO or something like that. Dev ADO or something like that.
Yeah, put dev also.
sir, by confirm the email, some error is issuing, sir. That error typing finalized verification of email address like that.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's okay. It's a closed part now.
Okay.
In the real time, you are not going to have these challenges actually, because you are going to have an associated email with your basic ID. And the challenges could be here is we have logged into ADO with a different user ID, and we are configuring it with a different name, right? Different email ID for communication. That's right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now here two questions. Without creating a project, can you create a ADO? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Next question. Without creating a ADO, can you create a ADO project? The answer is no. Okay. Without creating a project, can you create a ADO? Yes, you can create. Without creating a ADO, can you create a ADO project? No, you cannot create because of the resources hierarchy. Simple answer. All of it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yep. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll do. As we have additional members, I want to create the additional groups actually. Let me do it. Uh, Kamala, you're the global admin, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you do it? Can you do the activity, please? So it will
Okay.
get practice. Yeah. Guys, guide Kamala accordingly. What need to be done in order to provide access to these two users?
Sir, you have created new ADO, sir.
Are they in Avengers or Rockstars?
My go to meeting app is hanged. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir. No. No.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
no.
sir.
I will tell you what need to be done on the ADO level. Create the groups at the AAD level first.
Okay.
Create the groups at the AAD level, please. I mean, in the AAD, create two groups and add these users.
Names Praveen RG, right?
No,
No, no.
Kamala, I'm not asking you to create resource
It is,
groups. I'm asking you to
yeah, it
create
is
the
not a
security groups.
security group.
Security.
Yes.
Yeah,
Back.
security
Go
groups.
to AP. Back.
Okay, don't worry. Let me guide you. Search for the Azure Active Directory. Yeah, in the left pane you can see. Yeah, here also you can search. Yeah, you can see an option called Azure Active Directory. Go there. Scroll down. Scroll down. Yep. Now go to groups.
Hmm.
Now create a group called Practice ADO Basic Users. Click on the new group.
Group name.
Practice
Practice.
ADO Basic Users.
Practice area. Basic
Basic
users.
use.
Create.
Third one. Numbers.
Click on the members in the left side.
Numbers.
Sorry, click on the members in the left side and add the members.
Third member.
Guys, what about others? Enter the names simply. That's it. You'll get.
Praveen R. Wait.
Yes.
Sir. Bottom select. Ramesh. Refresh it.
Have added, sir.
Roles and administrators.
Okay, let me share the screen. It's okay, Kamala. I'll take it. Right. As you don't have the control over the AD, let me do. AD what? Let me do. Okay. So how to add access to this AD1 now? You're there, right? I mean left, I think. Okay, fine. Let me go to sorry. Let me go to organization settings. So let me go to organization settings. Go to users, and I want to give access to the users who is part of this group, right? Like practice area basic users. So what I need to do? I need to go to group rules, and I need to create a add a group rule, and here I need to search for the group. I need to search for the sorry 1 minute. Yeah, I need to search for the ADO group name. So what is the ADO? Sorry, AD group name. What is the AD group name? Practice ADO.
Basic
Practice
users.
ADO basic users. This is the group, right? But this is not getting here. Why? Let me verify whether this ADO is integrated with AD or not.
Yeah, it is not
Yes,
at
it is
integrated.
integrated. Then it should get the value here. Let me do refresh again and click on group rule and click on group.
So it is automatically integrated or what? So we haven't done any setting,
Yeah,
right?
it is automatically integrated because this user is a global admin this in this AAD basically.
Okay.
So that's why it's automatically integrated. It's not synchronizing here. Why? Let me go here, click on the practice ADO and copy this value and try here. Basically, it's not syncing. It's not synchronization yet. Synchronized yet. Basically, I think some issue in the synchronization. Okay, maybe it is taking time. I'll take it. I'll I'll do it tomorrow, friends. Okay, and Kamala, you can share your screen and do the activity. Do the activity for like create a
I
stakeholder
think
group
Kamala,
and add other stakeholders.
sir, I think Kamala created group in Rockstar already.
Yes, sir. I have created
Not in
Rockstar.
No, no. Kamala created a group in the Azure Active Directory. That's it.
Yes.
yes, yes.
It doesn't related to any AD, any ADO. We have created the security group in AAD.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Kamala, create a group again, like practice ADO
For
stakeholder
Azure
users.
Active Directory, second one. Create a resource at the right to Azure Active Directory.
Can anyone suggest the group?
Simple only. I mean, same only. Practice ADO stakeholder users. That's it.
Practice ID folder.
Users.
Take
Group created successfully. Sir, I have to add the members, sir.
Yes.
Yes, except the members who is part of basic group, you can add all others. You can type PB and select all others except Ramesh and Praveen. So that all of the users will be getting the stakeholder license in this ADO also.
Select first one. Then select the second one.
Kamala, you can select multiple members at the same time. You don't need to select one, do one again.
Okay.
And then
I have added, sir. Next, what I have to do, sir?
I mean, remove the Ramesh and Praveen here as they are the actual users of the basic license. They should not be part of the stakeholder.
remove. Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now rename the group name properly, please. Can the overview? Yeah. Now rename the group name. Click on the properties. Properties. The third option. Yeah. Practice.
Add T
PICE.
at.
PICE. Ready? Okay. Now ADO stakeholder. STA. Yeah. That's it.
Users. Okay.
You can see.
Say.
Because our security group names should be meaningful in the real time. Okay.
Okay.
Let me share my screen and try to give access to the ADO by group rules. If not, we'll do. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. We go to group rules and go to add a group rule and let me see. Now I think it's getting now. Okay. Uh,
Sir,
Raveen and Ramesh are there. They are there. This is how you are going to give access to AAD groups for the ADO. By going to group rule, you need to create a group rule there and add the group and assign the license properly and click on the project that you want to have. Or if you don't want to give access to project also, you cannot give. I mean, you don't need to give, and still you can add. But That will be useless actually. So at this point of time, let me do it right away like this. Okay, now click on the add. So guys, all of you verify whether you got access to practice ADO or not. Except Praveen and Ramesh, others will have the basic users. You need to change the basic group name also. It's like practice. Kamala,
Sir,
change in the background please. You need to change the group name here.
practice area. Group name.
Yeah, in the AAD, the name was like practice. Practice. You need to change
Yes,
it
sir.
to Price.
Hmm. Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. I mean, that's a good opportunity for us. Whether it will reflect the changes in the AAD or not here.
Okay.
Okay. Now we've added here. Let's yeah. Let me know once you're done with the changes in the background.
Hmm.
All of you clear now? How to give access to ADO based on the groups created in the AAD?
Sir, can you share my screen, please? Still, we have only lecture and evaluation. There is no.
Simple answer. In the real time, when you're going to get a new ADO membership, first of all, go to your profile. Okay, go to your DevOps profile. That means aex.dev.azure.com, your first tab, and verify there. If you are able to see there, then that means you got access.
No, here
Uh,
also there is.
refresh. Let's see. Refresh it. I think some synchronization issues are happening in the Azure end actually. That's why you're not able to do the activity in the proper way. Okay, but let me take this as an opportunity and show you something. All of you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Suppose now we have observed some synchronization issues, right? Because of the user is not able to log in, user is not able to log in, or the data is not getting displayed in the profile section, or all these are called as synchronization issues basically. But how do you confirm these are issues reported to Microsoft or not? Simple answer. You need to go to this portal status.azure.com. Okay. If you go to this website, this will list out any issues are reported by Microsoft in any region. Either boards, core services means these only. Comes under the synchronization, organization settings, project settings, all these called the core services. Okay. So in case of any issue to boards, in case of any to ADO services here, that will be listed on this page. You need to verify. I mean, in case of any degraded or unhealthy or advisory state other than the green, that means Microsoft is experiencing some issues with those services, with those ADO services. Okay, these are called ADO services, and these are called ADO core services basically, core and other services. These are also called as ADO services only, but in the real time, we call them these only ADO services of end user users. If somebody asks you, how do you find out the status of the healthy resource is healthy? I mean, ADO service is healthy or not? Simple answer is you need to go to status.dev.azure.com, and if everything is green, that means every resource and every service and every ADO service is working fine. If something is not green, that means Microsoft is experiencing some technical challenges with the respective ADO service. All of
Okay,
you
so
clear about this portal?
yeah, yeah. Can we have these links captured somewhere so that it will be handy?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll be sharing you the data.
Okay, so one more link is like AEX something, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll
There are.
share. Right away, I'll share in the chat.
Sir, if in case we have to raise the ticket to Microsoft, where we have to raise the ticket, sir? That means if we are facing any technical issues like that.
Sure. So, in actually, if you go to Azure account, okay,
Oh, sir, your voice is not clear.
I think it's taking time for me to. Internet is slow for me. Give me a minute. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Sir,
All of you, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Now here,
sir,
this is called home options. Pane. This is called pane. Okay, home pane it is. Home Azure portal pane. This is called in the real time. So here, if you scroll down, you can see an option called help and support. Right? Click on the help plus support, and in this, you need to click on the create a support ticket in the real time when you're facing an issue, basically. Okay, and you need to provide the issue details about your problem, and here you need to choose the issue type, subscription management. Okay, then basically not only subscription management, yeah, here we'll be having multiple options basically, because our account is a free trial account. We don't have an option about the service related. Okay, if it is a real time organization, you're going to have these options here, service, about service related, support related options also. Because it's a, because our account is a free trial account, they didn't enable us for this. But in the real time, we are going to discuss about this one. See here, we don't have any other options other than the subscription. It's asking us to purchase or sign up or upgrade. All of it clear? Vinesh, hope you're clear. I mean, you need to go to help and support in the home section of the Azure portal. Then you need to select this.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So now all of you might have a question about the resource hierarchy in the ADO. You know what exactly it is? Question, interview question. Can we create a ADO without creating an account in Azure portal? Is the answer? Same question. Can we create a ADO without connecting? I mean, can we? Sorry, not can we. Can we use a ADO without integrating it with Azure Active Directory? For both of them, the answer is yes. You can create an ADO without creating account in Azure portal, and you can create, you can use ADO without integrating with Azure Active Directory. Okay, but what happens? You are not going to avail the benefits with AAD if you not done if you don't integrate it. Basically, that's it. Nothing much. Still you can use. Still you can use. But the recommended approach is create ADO by creating an account in the Azure portal. So that what happens in the Azure portal, whenever you click on the Azure DevOps organizations, you are getting a page like my ADO, right? So you don't need to remember about these URLs basically. These ADO URLs you don't need to remember. When your Azure DevOps organization, and when you create an account in the Azure portal, and when you create a Azure DevOps organization, in the Azure portal, when you click on the my ADO, you are getting the information of the all the ADOs here, right? In the my portal, I mean my profile section. That means user profile section. Whatever the ADOs, those are part of, I mean, whatever the ADOs, those are associated with my login in the Azure portal. I'm getting the details. So if you don't create any account in the Azure portal, and if you're directly creating a ADO, still you will be able to create ADO. Still you will be able to use ADO. Still you will be able to operate ADO. But this information won't be there anywhere else in the market. I mean anywhere else in the portal. The loss is if you forgot this ADO URL, that means you're done. Clear? So if anybody asks these questions, the answer is yes. But it is not recommended. It is not recommended as a good practice. Clear? Any questions? Okay guys. If no questions, it is time to note down the scenarios. Clear guys? Ramesh and please check the access to this ADO. You should be able to. Others also. And we can discuss about the issues if any. I mean, we can verify about the issues if any in tomorrow class. Okay? Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm stopping the recording now.